track limits. Just talk to us about how difficult it was over the course of this whole weekend, learning where to put the car and how difficult it is to keep it on the right place of the track at turn 10 in particular.
Was it turn 10 for you? It was turn 9 for me.
I kept doing turn 9.
Yeah, turn 9 and 10. I think both areas.
Basically, it's a bit 50-50. Firstly, I would say, and I understand the argument, well, you know, you guys are supposed to be the best drivers in the world. It's easy to stay within. You get that a lot.
Jolie's been saying that a lot, actually.
I'm getting it now. the keyboard warriors. I have to say that I understand it, but these cars, what we're doing, especially it's getting so close now. Every little bit of track helps, and the wind is moving 360 degrees. It was moving 180 degrees around the racetrack today. You're getting dirty air, gusty air. Literally, I'm not joking you, a little gust and that's it, your track limit straight away. So you can say, well, yeah, well, bring it back a bit, but you can't bring it back because I've got Checo behind me, I've got George behind me, I've got everyone behind me. And the other thing was they were so slow at giving us the feedback. You know, the FIA there, they don't have the people. I think they tell us that they don't have enough people on the corners to give it quick enough. And so I don't know about you, but I basically got told my first strike was lap 20. I thought, well, that's pretty good for me.
You realised it was actually lap 1 or something.
Yeah, so that was it. And so I got lap 20. I thought lap 21, play it safe, got another strike. Lap 22, play it really safe, got another strike. Lap 23, penalty. And by that point I wasn't even using the exit curbs. And they were like, oh, sorry, yeah, that was from 15 laps ago. And it's like, well, you can't react at that point. You can't bring it in and it's all gone.
Yeah, I think Alex has summed it up perfectly. Honestly, the easiest thing to do is just change the last 2 corners.
I agree. What
do you want to do to them?
Yeah, come on.
I think, honestly, if you just, in my opinion, if you added a strip of grass on the outside of each of the corner, about a car's width off, and then have the tarmac after that in case there's a crash, no one's going to purposely drive into the grass. So that sort of, you know, would stop people from running wide. And in my opinion, that's the best.
Yeah, there's so many examples. Zandvoort is a great example of a well-done track. Nürburgring is an example of it. I know maybe some people won't know what these curbs look like, but there's so many designs you can do to prevent it. And I know the big talking point is MotoGP and bikes. They need to have their own specific curbs, and there's a big fight between bikes and cars at you know what we kind of want. But I think there must be a middle ground somewhere.
I remember when I was racing here, it's 2016-17, and there was the raised curbs, but you just damage your car every time you go over them. So we were complaining then that the curbs were too aggressive, and there'd be carbon fibre coming off everywhere, until more recently they flattened them, and now we get to where we are now. So I think the grass seems a pretty good idea. But
they got a lot of grass around here as well.
yeah, just get a strip on the outside. It's a sensible idea. But how much were you guys thinking before the race that track limits was going to be an issue like that? Were you aware of it before the start?
Of course. We get it drilled into our heads. Also in qualifying, because in qualifying you saw what happened.
It's probably more a qualifying issue than a race issue.
It is, and.
Are you thinking you might get away with it a bit more? They might be a bit more lenient in the race. You obviously get a few strikes before you're.
I can promise they weren't lenient.
They weren't.
Yeah. You know, visibility on these cars are not great. And like I said, you know, everyone's going for the last little bit of track. We are here to be on the limit. Of course, you can bring it in and all this kind of stuff, but it was quite hard today because there was no chance to react. It was always that's it. And basically, I don't know about most drivers, but for me, it was. I tried to react and yeah, the FIA were 15 laps less on everything. So
do you think it's been a bit harder because of all the shortened sessions with only one practice session? You don't kind of drill it into yourself from FP1, FP2, FP3, or that's not actually relevant?
No, I wouldn't say so. Honestly, so there's a tailwind through. The wind was moving a lot, so and it was quite gusty today. So I think that's partly why the track limits was a thing.
So I mean, it sounds a pretty fair complaint. To be fair, that is once you know you're under scrutiny, it's too late because you have the penalty coming already, basically.
And I know. People go, oh, don't do it in the first place. I know.
Out of curiosity, how many Did you know how many people got penalties? for
We
the
got
track?
a fair few out there.
think it was
Lewis,
nine.
Yuki,
Nine.
twice.
Yeah, 9 people.
Carlos, Alex, Pierre, Logan,
Oh, I'm on there,
Kevin.
yeah.
And then there's some other ones for different things. So they've been busy in the FIA, so maybe that's the situation.
But it was a good race from you, Alex.
Good
It was
feedback. Oh, for me, that was okay. Yeah.
so close to another point after yesterday as well.
Yeah, but yes, to come to this circuit for Williams, we knew this was going to be one of our better circuits. It wasn't as good as Canada. We knew it wasn't going to be as competitive as Canada, but we should have come away here with points. But the points should have come from yesterday, not from today. Today we executed very well. I feel like we did a great job. It was just, I mean, you got the top, Aston, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes, and then it's the fight for the other 2 positions. And Lando did a great job, obviously scoring his points. And then you had Pierre, who did a great job. So that was it.
Guys, great to have you on the show. We're going to let you go, I think, because we're stealing you
Yes,
from
yes,
everybody
yes,
else.
yes.
See you next weekend in Silverstone.
Thank you.
With maybe some grass.